Hello and welcome to our second part in our two-part lesson on our intro to the Pythagorean theory. So we left off last time, we looked at the three sides of a right triangle, legs A and B and hypotenuse C. However, we looked at, very briefly, at how to find the area of C. So when they say squared, that means multiplied by itself. So if A equals 2, we have to imagine that there's a square attached to this part of the triangle. And each side has a length of 2. So for this side, 2 times 2 equals 4 squared. And we'll imagine this a little longer. We'll say it's 3. So once again, imagine that there's a square attached to this side of the triangle, and each side has a length of 3. So 3 multiplied by 3 equals 9 squared. So A squared equals 4 to the power of 2, and B squared equals 9 to the power of 2. So all we have to do is add A squared and B squared together. So 4 squared plus 9 squared equals 13 squared. Therefore, C squared equals 13. So if there was a square attached to this part of the hypotenuse of the triangle, the area would be 13. Now we need to find the side length. So if we square root 13, we take this answer now, and we find the square root of 13, we will get the solution, which equals about 3.5. So this length should be 3.5. That's how the Pythagorean theory works. That the area of side A and side B added together equals the area of C. And then we just need to use a square root. So here's your first shout out. What is the formula used for finding the hypotenuse of a triangle? If you wrote A squared plus B squared equals C squared, you would be correct. Now let's try to find this triangle's hypotenuse together. So let's label our sides first. This is a rectangle, yes, but they cut it in half. So we can just ignore this half. It doesn't exist to us. We just want to find this. And we know that this should be A, and this should be B. Therefore, this here is C. So now we just have to find each side. So A squared would be 8 times 8. I'm going to write this over top for you. And B squared would be 15 times 15. Now it's just some simple math. 8 times 8 equals 64 centimeters squared. And 15 times 15 equals 225 centimeters squared. So now what we have to do is add A squared plus B squared. And that will give us C squared. So 64 plus 225 equals So now when we add the two together, 64 plus 225, we get an area of 289 centimeters squared. So that would be the area of C. So C squared equals 289 centimeters squared. I'm going to label these. This was our first step, second, third, and our fourth step will be to take the square root of 289, which equals that equals 17. So C equals 17. 17. We're done. It seems like a long process, but it's step by step. So let's check my work. I knew that 8 and 15. 15 squared plus 8 squared equals C squared. Okay, I'm correct once again. 289 and 17. Good for me. So now for your homework, I want you to try to apply the formula yourself. Remember, A and B. Okay, that should be more like that. Okay, so A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So you're going to multiply A times A B times B, and then you're going to add A squared plus B squared, give you C squared, and then you're just going to square root the solution. Okay, and that concludes our homework.